Welcome to the Redline Report powered by HireMaster. I'm Jennifer White, and this week on the Redline Report, we're going to talk about the Port of Savannah, Union Pacific's record deal, and where the economy sits after the Federal Reserve raised interest rates yet again. All right, let's go. The Georgia Ports Authority fiscal year of 2022, which ended June 30th, was a successful year by all measures, including a record-breaking 5.76 million 20-foot equivalent units handled, also known as TEUs. Container volumes for the fiscal year were 8% higher year over year, and the Port of Savannah achieved a new record for port handling for the month of June. The Port of Savannah handled over 494,000 TEUs, which was a 10.6% increase in cargo compared with June of 2021. The GPA credited the record-breaking increase to a significant shift in vessel calls from the West Coast to the East Coast in the midst of an already strained supply chain, increasingly at risk due to ongoing port labor talks. Additionally, container volumes rerouted from the Port of Charleston in South Carolina, and the port's own growth contributed to the record-breaking fiscal year. Overall, these factors resulted in a higher than normal number of vessels waiting at anchor. The GPA released data reflecting that the Port of Savannah is currently handling the highest volume of ad hoc and new service vessels to date. In the release of the GPA, Executive Director Griff Lynch said, quote, several factors have contributed to our growing container capacity, including expedited infrastructure projects, our inland pop-up yards, and an influx of truck drivers moving to the southeast, end quote. In the month of June, during the 2022 fiscal year, the GPA detected an average of 14,500 truck moves per week. Export loads totaled 1.32 million TEUs, with forest products, coal and clay, and automotive cargo being the top exports. Meanwhile, import loads totaled 2.86 million TEUs, with machinery and plastic goods being the top imports. As of right now, the GPA is looking to expand its current dock space to ensure appropriate handling of big ships and potentially increase storage capacity at the Port of Savannah. Union Pacific signed a record $1 billion deal with the Wabtec Corporation to modernize 600 of its locomotives. Current locomotives will receive improvements, which include digital solutions and innovations. Union Pacific commented on the investment, sharing that the deal is part of their strategy to improve performance and stability. The chairman, president, and CEO of Union Pacific, Lance Fritz, commented on the historic record deal, stating, quote, Union Pacific is taking thoughtful, deliberate steps to reduce our environmental impact and to help our partners improve theirs, end quote. Fritz participated in a press release and later stated, quote, Wabtec's modernization program helps make our existing fleet more fuel efficient, capable, and reliable. The resulting increased tractive power enables us to move more freight with fewer locomotives, which improves efficiency and reduces emissions, end quote. According to Wabtec, the locomotive modernizations will improve fuel efficiency up to 18%, increase reliability by more than 80%, increase haulage ability by more than 55%, and extend the life of the engines. Additional efforts are expected to reduce carbon emissions by 350 tons per locomotive per year. This adds up to 210,000 tons of carbon emissions avoided annually, which is the equivalent of removing nearly 45,000 passenger cars from the road each year. In the same press release, the president and CEO of Wabtec, Rafael Santana, announced, quote, modernizations are a game changer for our customers, offering the ability to realize significantly more value out of the existing locomotive assets, end quote. This is the third major order Wabtec has received from Union Pacific for locomotive modernization since 2018. It's estimated that more than 1,030 locomotives will receive improvements by the end of 2025. The investment project is expected to begin in 2023 with the delivery of 600 modernized engines. In the news this week, the U.S. economy shrank from April through June for a second straight quarter, contracting at a 0.9% annual pace and raising fears that the nation may be approaching a recession. Consumers and businesses have been struggling due to high inflation rates, and as a response, the Federal Reserve has raised its benchmark interest rate to 3/4 of a point. Many experts are hoping for a soft landing, meaning an economic slowdown that manages to lower skyrocketing prices without accidental trigger of a recession. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell and other economists stated that there is a weakening in the economy, and with an uncommonly low employment rate of 3.6%, suggests that if there were to be a recession, it is still a ways off. The inflation surge and fear of a recession have eroded the confidence of consumers as well as stirred public anxiety. Although consumer spending is still growing, the federal assessment of economic conditions 6 months from now has reached its lowest point since 2013. Many companies, such as Walmart, have reported lower than usual profits. The higher food and fuel prices have forced consumers to spend less on discretionary items such as new clothing, eating out, and other extras. Not only are profits lower, but manufacturing as well has slowed. According to a recent article published by Transport Topics, America's factories have enjoyed 25 consecutive months of expansion, but supply chain bottlenecks have made it hard for factories to fill orders. And that's all for this week's Redline Report. I'm Jennifer White. Be sure to follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch each episode and leave us a like and a comment. We'll see you next time on Redline Report, powered by HireMaster.